go to this computer. There we
This meeting is being recorded.
go. All right, this meeting is being recorded. So let's get everybody out of here so I can see my screen. And now I'm going to share a screen. And let's do this. And this is how you're going to start on Tuesday the 21st. What you're going to do is come to mendocino.edu. Here it is up here. And then you're going to hover. This, some of you probably know this. I know this. Hover over academics, come down to distance education, and click on it. And then what you're going to get is basically this. Now, if I connect to Canvas here, I'm already in their system and it's not going to help you. What you're going to just click to connect to Canvas. By the way, there's some things, if you need assistance, if this isn't working for you, get to IT help. They're actually great. They will answer the phone and they will answer an email almost immediately, especially on the first day, because they know people are having trouble. You can also email the head of the Learning Center. And there's a couple of videos that get very technical, honestly, more than we need, but it doesn't hurt. And here's your Canvas resources. It's another little video, very short, only 2 minutes, 43 seconds, 3 minutes and a half. And so that's a good place to start. Now, I'm not going to click here because it doesn't work for me the same way it will work for you. If you haven't signed in, you'll have to sign in and set up an account. You're going to use your student email. That's kind of important. And then what will happen is when you connect to Canvas, you're going to see the classes that you've signed up for. Now, when you click on our class, which is SPN200, you'll be directed basically to this page right here. You're going to start here. Now, can everybody still see? Am I still sharing this screen? Do you see the new screen? Somebody answer me.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
you can. Okay. Yeah, because this is a new system. Zoom changed, and it's not exactly the same. So anyway, you're going to see this. Now, what do you do with this thing? Hang on, let me move something. Okay, there we go. This is your Canvas home page. The things we're going to be looking at are announcements, assignments, discussions, and grades. That's all you really have to know. You can check out these other things if you want to. They're not all that useful. I also want to point out this. These are your assignments. Actually, this is not an assignment. I'm not sure why that's coming up as assignment, but this is where you're going to find your Canvas assignments. Now, I want to say something right off the bat. Especially if you're returning to Spanish or you haven't had much Spanish, save Canvas assignments till close to when they're due, which is they're both due on February 2nd, because the Vistas assignment, which I'm going to show you about in just a second, that's where you're going to prepare to do these assignments. Okay, so you forget about Canvas for right now. What you've got to do is get into Vista. So you're going to scroll down. Here's my information. You can actually call or text me. That's fine. Let's make it reasonable hours. And then you can watch this video, which is kind of helpful. I made it a long time ago, but it still should be pretty good. Now, getting started in Vistas is your most important step. On Tuesday, January 21st, this is what you want to concentrate on. This is critical to get going on. As I sent in my email that I sent out, you've got 52 assignments, 5 quizzes, a lesson test, and 2 Canvas assignments that are due on February 2nd. So these guys actually pick up the phone. And they can get pretty busy right at the beginning of the semester, but they will pick up the phone. You will not be on the phone for an hour waiting on. Believe me, okay? They do a good job on that. What you've got to do is purchase your Vistas access code. This is how you get your textbook. You're not going to buy a textbook. And read all this stuff carefully. I don't want to take the time to go over every detail of it. One thing I would ask you to do is please use the exact same first and last names that you used to sign up for this course. I don't know why, but I've had many people over the years sign up with Mendo, get the course with one name, and then use another name to get Vistas, and I don't know who they are. So it just makes it kind of tough. Now, when you finally get into Vistas, and I'll show you a little bit about this, you're going to have 2 options. You can either buy, they both are online access. One includes a textbook, which is not that great. It's a very flimsy, loose leaf thing, and they don't even give you a 3-ring binder. It's hole punch, but you're going to have to get your own binder. But if you love having a book in front of you, this is not a bad way to go for, I guess, an extra $40 or so, right? But you really only need online access because the text, the exact same text, is embedded in the program. So you don't have to buy the more expensive option if you don't want to. Now, here's what we're going to do. After you sort of read this stuff and get familiar with the idea, Click on this link right here, navigate to this, and this is what's going to happen. We're going to share this one. And you're going to, now, first of all, you're going to have to sign in. But again, they already recognize me, so I can't show you how to do that. Sign in, get your account. You're going to choose a password and do all that stuff. Now, you got to come here to this, and this is what our textbook looks like if you have the real thing. Vista's 7th edition. But you want to click on view details, okay? So let me emphasize that. When you get into Vista and sign up your account, you're going to get this choice for our class. You don't want 201, you want 200. So view the details. And now you get your choice. You can either do the $120, $118, whatever it is, and you just add that to cart and buy it, and then you'll automatically be set up. Or you can just do the $79 one. And that's pretty simple. No, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to buy it. Okay. So that's all we need to do right there. Now, once you get set up, that's really important. You can start on that. There is more information that you really need to be aware of in Canvas. And go ahead and check it out. But what I want to look at right now is just over here. First of all, assignments. This is where you can get a clear overview of your assignments. And these are them. So for February 2nd, you've got two. You've got a discussion post and a video post. Now, unfortunately, because we're before the starting date of the class, I cannot click on this thing and show you. It won't work. However, the instructions are super clear, and all you have to do is do a post, a real easy post. You're going to say, "Hello, my name is such and such," and then you got to reply to one other student, and then you're done. It should take you literally 10 minutes. A video post is almost the same thing. You're just going to record yourself saying certain things, and then you are going you're basically just going to say your name, hello. You're going to greet me, hello. My name is such and such. Uh, I'm good today. How are you? Goodbye. That's all you got to do. These are 5-minute assignments, okay? Really, but we'll talk more about them in a little bit. This is where you can get to assignments. You can look at grades here. And right now, these are just your Canvas grades. It's only your Canvas grades. And you don't have any grades yet, okay? So don't worry about that too much. You also got a calendar over here. See in the far left-hand margin, you got a calendar to look at. And if you see a little number here, that means you better check your emails because I probably sent you one. Okay, so click on inbox and see what the email's about. That's really all you have to do. Let's go back home here. I'm sorry. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Go back one more. Okay, now we'll just go home. So here we are back home. And the other thing that this is probably the most important thing you can do in Canva. Click on announcements. You're going to click on announcements up here. And when you do, the two that are most important are getting help on an activity in Vista and help to get you started. Now, they're a little bit lengthy. I don't want to go through them right now, but it's going to give you serious tips. It's going to be actually a reminder of everything I'm going to talk about today when we go through it. And there's some other things too, like maybe, I got a census certification date, which I think was February 2nd or February 1st. If you haven't submitted anything by then, I'm going to drop you from the class. That's a requirement. I'm not allowed not to. You might also consider forwarding Mendo emails to your personal account if you forget to check Mendo email. I would strongly recommend checking Mendo emails many times a week, like 2 or 3 times a week. You should check your emails because I send out important reminders and updates and so on and so forth. All right, well, that's about it for Canvas. I know that's pretty quick, but I am recording this. You can go back over it, okay? The next thing, once you get into, you do, all right, I know I'm going around here pretty quickly. Once you click on this thing and get set up with Vistas, let's look at what's going to happen in Vistas. So here we are. You're going to see this and then, oh, sorry, that's not it at all. Sorry, let's get out of here. Let's see, I guess I'm going to go, oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Once you click into Vistas, this is your dashboard. This is what you're going to get. By the way, when you first get into Vistas, and again, I can't do this because it knows me. It always sends me to this. But you're going to get all sorts of weird options, and there might be something about German or Italian. Just ignore it. Fine. You're going to have a picture of our book. It looks like this. It's the guy standing out in the salt flat down in Bolivia. World's largest salt flat, by the way. Way bigger than Salt Lake, the Salt Lake one. So you click on this and it will bring you to this. And this is your home page. Now, what do we have to know about this thing? First of all, here's your assignments. And there's an easy way to get started on this. Look for notifications because if you ever ask me a question through Vistas, my reply is going to show up here in notifications. I don't make too many announcements in Vistas, so you don't have to worry about that. But notice this, they're telling you that on February 2nd, you've got, okay, it says 48. I thought it was 52. Oh, that's because I was practicing and I already did 4 of them. So it's actually 52, plus 5 quizzes, plus a test. By the way, let's get something clear. Your Vistas assignments count for 85% of your overall semester grade. So Vistas is far more important than Canvas, even though Canvas is important. You don't want to throw away Canvas, but this is where you want to be focused. And with this many activities to do and all these quizzes down here, this is what you want to focus on. And by the way, I don't know why this is. Maybe it won't happen to you. For some reason, this lesson test is given out of order. It's been that way since I started this program, literally 10 years ago. Um, I don't know why, but you definitely want to finish the grammar quizzes before you take the lesson test. Anyway, you will do this. What I want to do is at any time you can just click start. And when you click start, you're going to see exercises to do. One thing that's really nice is this assignment list. Now, these are the ones that I already did. Okay. Once you complete one, you're going to see a little pink thing with a check or something, whatever it is. Okay. So let's click on one. These tutorials, here's another really important point. Your tutorial is what's going to teach you Spanish. This is your teacher. So only 1 point. And most of the assignments are 10 points or more. So you might think, whatever. But this is how you learn and review Spanish. I can't emphasize enough that this is really important to check out. Let's click on one and see what happens. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of this assignment list because it's in my way. So this is just a thing. You may not understand everything here. You just click on it. Now, you can look at it in English, and then you will know what she's saying. Como se llama usted? You can add it here anytime you want, means Mr. or something like that, right? Okay, so this is just to get you familiar with vocab. You don't have to spend hours and hours trying to memorize this stuff. You just want to become familiar with it so that when you get to your assignment list, and let's go down a little bit, you'll be ready for something like this. So you got to start. Now, this is more the grammar, okay? And I'm going to click start here. And this again is your textbook. This is your tutorial. Now, I'll show you how to get into your textbook anytime you need it. And I like this thing because this is your textbook. This is why you don't have to buy a textbook. You can make it nice and big so you can see what's going on. The very first thing is learning about something that we don't have in English, masculine and feminine nouns, okay? And how most masculine nouns end in O, most feminine nouns end in A. You do want to take a look at this, even if you've had some Spanish, just to review and refresh. You go on to the next page and you get more grammar. And by the way, if you go on to the next page, you're going to see some exercise. Sorry, you're going to see some exercises. You can't do these. You can't fill these in. Okay. Now, this exercise is actually in your assignments. So don't worry about that. But don't worry that you can't do these. You can't click on these, but that's okay. This is just your textbook. And where you're going to do assignments is in here. Now, let me show you something else because this is important. Let's get down to Inténtalo. This is one I think that's a pretty good one. It's going to show us something. Now, I'm sorry, let me get rid of this again. So it says, here's our first real sort of assignment where we've got to actually do something. And we get 2 tries on every assignment. So this says, now if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, it's okay, don't worry about it. This says either el or la or los. Now, if you remember your Spanish, you know that el is for a masculine singular noun, la is for feminine singular, los. So it'd be like el libro, la carpeta, los libros, las carpetas. But this is not a Spanish lesson this time. So what we're going to do is take a look at this. And I know this one, so I'm going to put in L. And then I go, oh, that looks masculine to me, so I'm going to do it again. Now, if you know Spanish, you know I've done that wrong. It should be los, but I'm leaving it wrong for a reason, okay? This one I'm going to get right. Whoops. And this one, I'm not sure, but I see an A in there. So that looks maybe feminine to me. Whoops, sorry, I hit caps lock. I'm going to put that in. And this one I'm going to remember is feminine and it looks plural to me. So I'm going to do that. Now, look, I've done a bunch of them wrong. Don't panic. I actually know Spanish, but, um, but I'm going to submit this. So remember, you get 2 tries on this. And the very first thing that's happened is this thing says, hey, wait a second, you didn't do these. And of course, I should do them, but I'm not going to. So, but you should. Okay. So I'm going to go, I don't care. I'm submitting anyway. I feel very confident. Now you're going to notice immediately you get feedback. And this is saying, oh, hey, you got this one right. Good job. But they're saying something's wrong on this one. Now, if you know what's right or wrong, you can retry and just redo it again. But if you're looking at this, you go, wait a second, Dave, I don't, or yourself, hey, I don't get this. Why, I don't understand why I missed this. I'm going to be honest with you. The first thing you should do is come up here. This is your textbook. This is first, because this is a self-learning class. I'm glad to help you with questions if you really have a question you just can't figure out. But in all honesty, the learning comes from you. This is you're teaching yourself, okay? So you click on here and you get right into the textbook again where we just were, okay? All right, it takes a little while. And then you should be able to review this and figure it out, okay? I want to go back here though. So let's say I figured it out and I think I know what I'm going to do. If I'm not sure, this is what you're going to do. At the bottom of every exercise and every quiz is an Ask Your Instructor button. This is the most important button that you can have in this whole program. Very useful. Click on it. And now check it out. Go any pink box that you want. Pick a pink box and go something like this. Or just pick the one, actually pick the one you're having trouble with. That's better. Pick it right here. And then you go, whoops, gosh, I can't type today. Something like that. Because I thought it was masculine and I didn't realize that it should have been plural. That's what I missed. So you submit that. And I am going to get now, if you're really unsure and you don't want to move forward, save this last retry. You only get 2. Okay, save it. And then when I reply to you, and hopefully it's the same day, it's not always. I try to check every day, but you know how it is. But it should be at least by the next day. So if you can wait that long, that's good. And then you would resubmit once I clarify it for you. Or if you figured out what's wrong, just do retry and do it again. You'll get another try like this. There it is. See, now I can try this again. This time I'm going to go Los. Whoops, not Aos. I'm going to go Los. And then when I finally get down here and do all these correctly, I'm going to hit submit. Okay. Now let's go back to this. And oh shoot. I'm sorry. I kind of screwed this up. All right, here we go. Oh, um, okay. I guess. Because I'm viewing this as a student. Sorry, I'm going to have to return to me, which is okay. Okay, so I'm sorry. This is me now. Let me fix this up. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll do this. Oh, by the way, here's what I see. One student needs help. That's your question getting to me. So that was a good thing for you to see. And that's how I check it out. And let's go back to view as a sample student. And here we are on our dashboard again. By the way, be very aware that these quizzes, if you just look here and you think, oh, okay, I don't see anything else. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this is great, but you've got to scroll down to see your quizzes. Okay, that's kind of important, and your lesson tests. So be aware of that. Okay. Now, there's one other thing I want to show you, and this is really good. And then we'll pretty much be done with Vistas as far as that goes. Up here on your dashboard, if you go back to dashboard at any time, by the way, if you're on an assignment, you can always get to your dashboard just by clicking here, up here on the little book. That'll get you back to your dashboard. So this is a kind of nice thing that I like because it's just another way of looking at your activities. Now, oh, by the way, you got this. Assigned only or all activities. Keep it on assigned only, okay? Because there's a lot of activities here that I don't assign. And if it's got a date, then you know that's assigned. See, there's a bunch of stuff in here that's not even showing that you don't want to do. Well, you can do it. You can do it, but you don't have to. I want to show you this too. What I like about this whole list here, there's a bunch of stuff that's not assigned. None of this adelante stuff is assigned, but this is pretty nice. I like this vocabulary thing. First of all, And I'm in lesson one. If you want to get to another lesson, do this. Then you can get to other lessons, okay? But we're going to be in lesson one, so that's good enough. Now, I like the vocab thing. That's way down here at the bottom, vocabulario, and click on it, and you'll see all the vocab that we ought to know. And by the way, this is your easy to use dictionary. If you can't remember how to say something, or they're using something you don't know what it means, this is the nice way to get it. Should you spend hours and hours trying to memorize all this stuff? No, no, you don't have the time. You don't have the time. Being familiar with it is enough. And coming back to it if you need it is enough. Here's one thing that if you really want to test yourself on this stuff, you want to get good at this stuff, just put in the Spanish only. Now you got to find you'll find out if you really know it. The other cool thing is you can hear us say it. Okay. And if you want to, the way to really test yourself, way to really test yourself is put in the English. Do you actually know how to say good morning? Do you know how to say computer? Do you know how to say photograph or anything? What's going on? What's happening? You're not sure? You just go back to Spanish English and then you get it exactly. ¿Qué pasa? Or ¿qué hay de nuevo? What's something like that. Okay. Now let's go back to activities. And I'm trying to think. Oh, yes, a couple more things here. You can access your quizzes and your test right here. And unfortunately, I can't. Okay, this will not. I don't know why they're so secretive about their tests and quizzes, but this will not open up for you until the class starts. So on the very first day, you can come here and look at these things. The other thing that's very nice, really useful, is the calendar, especially in Vistas. I can't emphasize how important this is. For our first lesson, we're in January. You got to go to February to get our first lesson. This is when this stuff is all due. By the way, before 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. That our deadlines are always Sunday. Now, I just have to do this. All this is due on February 2nd because I'm going to have people joining the class late. And it's not fair to them to ding them for not getting material in on time. I just had to just do one big massive one right here. Okay. However, you will notice that after that, we have weekly assignments. Weekly assignments after that. Every Sunday, something is going to be due. And that's kind of nice because it keeps you on track, right? So, for example, on March 2nd, you've got 14 activities, two grammar quizzes. On March 9th, you've got 12 activities, two more grammar quizzes. And then you've on the 16th of March, you got 23 things, a vocab quiz, your vocab tests, and so on and so forth. So it goes on like that. And the last thing I want to do with you in Vistas is this. This is all on your dashboard. Come to grades. This is kind of important. And by the way, if you get kind of confused on stuff, you will be able to access all of this in the announcements. Remember I said in Canvas that announcements is kind of important. There's two things that I want you to read. This gives you a review right there in Canvas in announcements. You will learn how to review your grades, and I'll remind you how to kind of contact me if you got questions, things like that. So nothing's been done here. That's why there isn't anything in here. But check this out. You've got scores over here. So this is your overview, but you've got scores right here. So click on scores. And this is kind of critical for you because now you come down here and you go, oh, wait a second. I only got 4 out of 20 out of this thing, or 16 out of 20 or whatever. You go, wait a second. That doesn't look good to me. Let's see what's wrong here. And that's where you can click on this again. And okay, actually, I didn't do this. And again, you could ask your instructor. And if I can see that the computer graded something really badly or unfairly, like for example, if you make a simple spelling mistake in Vistas, like maybe you put in two S's or you put in a S for a Z, something like that, the computer goes, oh, that's wrong. And you get no credit, zero credit. Well, that's just a little spelling mistake. I'll fix that for you. You have to submit twice in activities to do that. But just remember, you want to come to your grades and just check it out, okay? And then I can correct things like that if you use Ask Your Instructor. But again, this is on you, the student. You are responsible for your learning. I'm not checking every single assignment in here. Oh my God, it'd take me forever. I got 30 students with 50 assignments. That's 1,500 assignments to check, not to mention the quizzes. just for the first lesson, so I can't. But if you bring something to my attention and say, look, Dave, I just made a simple spelling mistake here. And I'll go, oh, yeah, no big deal. You forgot the space between la and casa. And you just put la casa as one big word. And the computer goes, oh, I don't know what that is. So that's wrong. I'll fix that for you. Okay. Now, let me think. What else do I want to talk about here? That's about it. I don't think there's anything else in Vistas. I know this has been fast. It's going to be really tough for you to remember all that, but that's why I'm recording it. And I think I'm going to stop this share. I can't see you. You're all over there someplace. Do you have anything you want to ask me?
I
Shout it
do.
out. Any questions?
So, if I get the Vistas and so like I told you, I'm getting a different computer. Is that like a something that you can just log into? It's not like on their hard drive or anything, right?
No, you have to log in every time. You don't download anything.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. Thank you, Elaine.
And then I
Anybody else
have
with questions? Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
my name is got a hyphen in it. Is that going to create a problem? Because I
Nope,
meant
nope.
to
Just as
spell it
long as you
correctly.
go Elaine Fig, was it Hobbs? I can't remember. I can't see it all.
Problem. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just do that every time and you're fine. You're
Okay.
gonna be fine. Anyway, you know what? I'm here to help. If you have questions, just email me. You can email. Oh, that's another thing. Email me anytime. I'm really happy to help. And any other questions that you can think of right now? All
I
right.
know you
Oh,
mentioned that there was two tries for the assignments. Is it the same thing for the quizzes and the test, or is that only a
oh
one-time thing?
gosh, that's good, Cynthia. I put that in it's in the on the homepage of Canvas. In Vistas, oh, I'm really glad you mentioned that. I forgot to mention that. In Vistas, for all the activities, you get two tries. In Canvas, well, I'm sorry. Let me talk about deadlines. You can edit Canvas assignments, so that's not if you think you do a better job, you can go back and hit it again. But let's talk about due dates. In Vistas, you do get two tries, and there's a deadline. Our first deadline is February 2nd. In Vistas, you can turn in assignments late. It's okay, and I'm not going to bug you about it. It's okay. However, there's a 5% per day late penalty, and that's done by the computer. It's not me. It's just done. So, like on a test, the lesson tests are worth 10% of your semester grade. You turn a bunch of those in late, you're hurting yourself. So make sure you try to get everything in on time. But in Vistas, if you're a little behind, it's okay. You can, 5% penalty is not going to kill you, especially if you don't do it all the time. However, Canvas assignments must be turned in by the due date. I cannot fix that. I can't accept them late, and that those assignments will close out. You won't even be able to access them. You won't be able to see them. So you must hit submit before your clock says 11:59. You got to do it when it still says 11:58. I hope I'm making myself clear on that. If it says 11:59, you don't get any credit. Now, I know that's tough, but it's just how it is. So my other advice is, you know what? If you got a bunch of stuff to do for this class and you start at 11:30, that's not that's not a good plan. That is not a good plan. Turn off your TV, get off of your Instagram or whatever it is you're doing, and get your assignments in, okay? But especially for Canvas, because you can't turn them in late. Thank you for that question, Cynthia. Did I answer all of your questions, Cynthia? I hope, maybe. I hope I did.
Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you.
Okay. Anybody else with a question? All right. If there's not, I'm going to stop the record and